Good morning, Divine Masculines, and welcome you to the Earth Angel channel. Hope you're going to like and subscribe to this channel without my asking, and you would like it also. So, today's topic we will discuss is about self-control. Now, when we discuss self-control, we understand the dimensions of the control of self. Prior to that, we must understand what is the control issue or the control problem. When control becomes a problem issue, that we must first, in very brief, we have to mention that because that is the issue which is the adverse effect of self-control, adversely affecting when self-control is lacking. So it is the other side of the shadow side of the self-control is control issue. Okay, so in part 1 I will little elaborately discuss, little elaboration will be there, not too much of course, to make a small video of this. So it will be self-control mainly with the introduction of control issues in people today, and in part 2 is going to be the control issue with a small introduction of the self-control. So here first we begin with the self. Okay, self in a positive way is the self-control, which is the ability to resist temptations. Okay, now before going further, I will tell what is the obstruction towards self-control. Self-control actually is it is a healed state of behavior, mind, psychology, everything of an individual, of the individual self. Okay, so when you are not able to operate, or when the self of yours is not able to operate or function with this self-control, that means there is an obstruction. Okay, there is a control issue. You have some the self of yours is confronting with facing some kind of lacking, some kind of I would say some adverse influence which is making you weak, to speak in very simple words. Okay, that is you're falling weak before some influence. That is the actual thing that I must tell you in pragmatic situation that happens is you find somebody's influence on yourself is so extreme and so potential that you are unable to bring about any kind of control before that influence. This is the situation that you would be facing, and then arises issues of control. You try to become powerful, you try to emerge as more powerful than individuals in front of you, and you try to think of deceptive or some manipulative kind of methods by which you will bring that other influence in your control. Now this requirement becomes so extreme by the self of yours or whoever's of ours, that what happens is that we try to this is easier said when we are utilizing kinds of materialistic threads, like for example the emotional aspect is used for manipulation. This would be the best thing to conquer people's power, by showing, by sex, by bribes, by alcohol addictions, all types of addictions, I would say, which are not resourceful, which are not creative, which are adverse, which are illegal. So it would mount up, as much as you the self gets involved in things like this, it will mount up. So there are, how much will you describe to explain that? So in other words, in one word we can say it becomes adverse. So this necessity has to be stopped here. The necessity of the essential need to control a powerful influence has to be curbed, and that curbing power is known as self-control. So now we have seen, just in brief, we have had what is a control issue, and how it becomes an obstruction in self-healing. Now when this obstruction is curbed, when this impediment is stopped and seized, self-healing begins. And beginning of the self-healing is self-control, gaining self-control, right? So this gaining of self-control is very important, and we will now in 5 to 10 minutes finish off the discussion on self-control itself. So self-control is the ability actually to resist temptations, okay? And lots of impulsive thoughts, emotions and behavioral aspects which are harmful for our which are illegal, harmful, or which are indulgent in nature could be avoided, absolutely eluded with the help of self-control. So it is absolutely a life skill, a mechanism which is a skill, life skill, and which is empowerment also, you can say. Now what we want and what we need, this needs scrutinization. So once again, when you start deciding upon self-control, controlling yourself, bringing control within the self first, you have to be seated in that scrutinizing seat of your mind and psyche, and then you have to start one by one, pointing out all those little aspects which are actually which are creating that vent towards this destruction, that is losing self-control or having controlling issues. Okay, now what we want, what we need has to be considered. The need and the want would be different many times. So in order to bring about a balance between the two things of need and the want, we have to monitor the willpower of ours, okay, the self. Now this willpower is the deliberation and the determination. It is a deliberate determination that you're going to use control. Now the difference is that you're not controlling an influence which is outside you, you are controlling the influence within you. That is the self. You're controlling, this is a journey of self, okay? So you are controlling the self to fulfill your goals. This will be the main thing that you have to ponder upon. Now the focus will be on self-control, and you must understand that it is a life skill which will lead to a healthy and happy life, and it is also synonymous to self-discipline, or you can say self-restraint. Self-restraint is very important, an essential quality by which we can make positive choices, okay? Positive choice in the face, prima facie temptations, and restraining yourself or oneself from acting impulsively is also very important. And the force or the power of inhibition is the power of self-restraint, okay? So self-restraint is nothing but it is a huge power within yourself by which you are controlling inhibitions. Now, so inhibiting the need of the body over moral needs are very important. Inhibition has to be within the need of the inhibition must be of the need of the body, that is physical needs. That means we can replace the word also by the synonym materialistic needs also. Physical needs might be of monetary needs also. It can be needs of other kind of materialistic requirements which are often obviously human essentials in life. I am not disagreeing to the requirement of these things. Requirement is always there for a better life, for a dignified life, for a value-added life. But to get that value-added life, we cannot add value to any kind of status of life without adding moral values to that status also, which is why law and other kind of restrictions of the has been imposed by the state or the governance of the state, okay? So there is one reference that I'll give you, that is behavioral inhibition is what, BI. So here you have to consider your behavioral inhibition which needs moderation. This needs moderation, and the ability to shift the attention is also very important. Shifting attention is an adaptive regulation of the negative temperamental reactivity. So BI, the behavioral inhibition, needs moderation, definitely. Now the ability to shift the attention is an adaptive regulation. Okay, this moderation means you have to shift balance. You have to by your own choices, positive choices, you have to balance the ability to shift your attention from the negative thought towards the positive one. So choice, again a free will intervenes over here. We can see every time that one reference is very much very intricately related to the other one, and adaptive regulation of negative temperamental reactivity is very, very important here. And you need not be a shape shifter, but you have to be a adaptive to shifting attention. That is important. Shape shifting is the aftermath of the destructive control issue, but shifting attention is the precaution. It occurs prior to the destruction that occurs about the control issue. So this will bring about the self-control, and it will ultimately lead to, you don't have to heal, you are already on the healing path, in a strong path where you don't have the tendency to create wounds, and healing would not be necessary, but of course polishing up and balancing out now and then will be required. And then we have a cognitive regulatory task has to be planned out, which must be established within the self. Okay, so in order to control and balance this negative thought, you have to create that regulatory task system of yours, which is very cognitive and mentally very secret of yours, of yourself. And within that self, you have to incorporate the self-control activities through that. Now this is what I would like to share with you, and hope this helps. In very brief, I have explained to you as much as I could possibly do by helping you to understand what is self-control. How do you control it is a psychic control and psychology that you have to follow for yourself, and you have to make the choice out of your own free will to remain within that control. And with this, and lots of blessings, I end this thing here. Do a discussion here. Do subscribe and like this video. Thank you.